here. Welcome back to my Etsy shop, Frenchy and Tubby. I have 7 items to showcase today in my shop. All items will be live tomorrow. That would be Friday, November 8th at 5 p.m. So let me start with the one in the thumbnail. I think it's really cool and I'm about this close from keeping it, but I already have one. Same brand, different pattern in a different green. This one is really cool. This is Indiana glass. So Indiana glass started very early 1900s, and they were making just glass pattern, and the biggest production of glass that they ever made was during the Depression. Most of the Depression glass comes from Indiana glass, in particular the famous one called Sandwich. Here's the pattern, and they did all sorts of colors. They did milk glass, they did custard glass, they did a lot of glass that was carnival, you know, the one that has the almost like a peacock feather iridescent look to it. And they also did pieces like this in different color. This particular pattern is called Canterbury, and it's basically fruits. So you can see the fruits right here as medallions. They did quite a lot of items in that particular pattern. What's interesting about it is that they didn't do a lot of different colors. The one that was the most popular back in those days, and they did this in the 50s and 60s, by the way, so it's truly vintage, was the Amberina. And the Amberina, you probably know because you've watched my shop, is the red one that ends up as a orange. So it's almost looking like a sunset. They had this one in turquoise blue. They did it in clear. I've seen it in red, but I have never seen it in lime green. And this is an awesome color. I'm not necessarily a green person, but I have to say that as soon as I saw this, I said to myself, oh, this is going to look great for Christmas. For those of you who do the traditional Christmas, green, red, and white, this is really cool. Imagine putting ornaments and ribbons in this. They are meant to be fruit baskets, mostly bananas or small fruits, or you can use them for flower arrangement. You just have to either put a foam, or you see how there's a circle right here, right? You put what's called a frog, and that's another piece of glass that you put at the bottom that allows you to spike flowers into it, and you just add water. It's in perfect condition. Not a chip, not a crack, not a flea bite. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love the green. Let me put it by the light so you can see. This is so cool. And it changes, right? It changes color depending on which way you look at it. It doesn't have any other minerals in it. It's just one color, but because of the thickness of the design, I changed glasses so I can see better. So you can see the fruit right here, right? So the inside is all polished. This is pressed glass, but all the design is on the outside. So you have fruits and then what they call a crisscross. That's almost like a basket with it refracts light a bit. So what they do is that they basically make the plate, right? It starts as a plate. They shape it by pressing it. Then they add this piece right here. And very often you will find those with chips on the base. Now this one, when you touch like this, there's a part that feels like it's a little rough. Is that a chip? It is not. No chip. And then once they're done, they add the handle. Every one of those manufacturers had a different way of doing their stamp right here. It's not signed Indiana, but you can usually tell if it's in Indiana versus a Fenton versus any other design. Indiana has 1, 2, I think it's 3 dots right here. So this is perfect for the holidays or all year long. People put their bananas on a banana tree or hang it or just leave it on the plate. Why not just start putting your fruits in pretty things, okay? Vintage, pretty things. It's quite heavy. And of course, it's somewhat fragile because it is glass. So we have a 1950s, 1960s Canterbury pattern, Indiana glass in lime green, and it's a fruit design. Now fruits, we have grapes and what appears to be possibly peaches. These are the fruits right here. So that's item number 1. And I'm going to stay in the subject of fruits. I have 2 of those, but I'm going to sell them separately. These are by Lenox. They are the cutest little things. Okay, look at this. Here's number 1. Making sure I am in focus. What is this thing? It's a planter. It's part of the Lenox Fine Porcelain Orchard collection, which they did in 1994. They all discontinued. It's a planter with its center plate. Look, it says Lenox right here, and then underneath it says the Lenox Orchard Planters Fine Porcelain, Lenox 1994. Still has the sticker. They almost like brand new. Same thing, perfect condition. So the first one, and the orchard was also referred to as Fruits in Blossom. So the first one is a pitcher. It's a miniature pitcher, and it's got strawberries with some blooms, blackberries, and what appears to be apricots, and then it's got the same pattern on the back with a little repeat here on the top. It's got a little bit of a design here on the handle, and it's a miniature pitcher. You can't use it as a pitcher, obviously, because there's a hole at the bottom, with it's an underplate. And these are planters. Oh, they would look great with, let me see, I know these don't fit, but that's basically what it would look like. You just put a fern, would work great with that, one of those miniature fern, maybe like a asparagus fern, right? Or you can do a succulent, like an aloe, or different little miniature succulent, but have some like string of banana or string of pearls. Actually, string of banana would be really cool here, since we're talking about fruits. On a kitchen window, this would be so cute. So that's the first one, is a pitcher. And again, it's fine porcelain, not just plain good old ceramic. It's fine porcelain. Now the second one, in case you just want one and not the other, that's the reason why I separate them, is a teapot. Look at this thing. Same principle, fine porcelain with an underplate and a hole at the bottom, because it's a planter, perfect condition. Says the same thing, the Lenox Orchard Planter Fine Porcelain, Lenox 1994. This one has an apple, some raspberries, and plums. And the pattern is on both sides. But look, they did the little detail with the spout. You see that with the holes? It's so cute. It really is. And even the spout right here, you can see they punched a hole. They could have just closed it, right? And not worry about it, but they made it look just like a real teapot. And I think it's the cutest little thing. So same thing with the handle, with a little bit of a design on it. Fine porcelain by Lenox. They will be sold separately. These are Lenox Orchard, discontinued pattern. One is a little bit lighter, not in weight, I'm talking colors, than the other. That would be this one. This one's a little bit darker in terms of the colors, but here they are. Let me move back a little bit. We have 2 little planters by Lenox. When I come back, pottery. Okay, pottery. This is a mug that was here for quite some time. And I know that some people have had their eyes on it. It's this mug right here. You probably recognize it from many videos ago. I picked it up. It's that same unknown studio potter who signs with an A. So it says A at the bottom. I wish I had 2. Unfortunately, I only have 1. Whoever purchased the other mugs by the same potter, maybe you want to consider adding this one. So this one is brown on the outside, right? You can see it's got like a light pattern with a little bit of gray and green added to it. But the inside is beige with a brown drip all around it. And it's a good 10 ounces. Oh, the handle, look at that, my whole hand fits in there. And I have big hands, we know that. Maybe perhaps even manly hands, because they do work a lot. It feels so comfortable. It doesn't have a thumb rest. Some people prefer that, but I like that it goes this way. It's a little bit fluted out. And some people who are experts in teacups in particular will tell you that the ideal teacup is supposed to have that little lip fluted out like this. It's to help the drink literally flow into your mouth, and it's stopping it from dripping. Imagine that. So mugs that are like this are actually better mugs than the regular ones. I did not know that. These are the Desert Rose by Franciscan. I have a whole bunch, and you see how it's a straight, right? And this is tapered or fluted on the side. That's a better mug for coffee, just saying. It's a matter of preference, but I know it's a better mug because they're supposed to be like that. So here you go. That's a Pottery mug by A. I wish I had found out who A is. Must be a local person in my area. No one in my groups that I belong to for pottery recognition knows who A is. So there you go. Unknown potter, but a really good one no less. And it's a nice mug. It really is. Perfect condition if you like brown and beige. Okay, next is right here. So this is gonna come disassembled for the purpose of having a lesser box or lesser size box, but it's basically brand new. When I obtained it, all of the hardware you see here was still locked in that plastic bag, but I had to open the bag to get the hardware to install it so I could show it to you. But it came with the instructions on how to assemble it. It's brand new and a little bit of a blurb about it. So what is this? This is Bluebells by Mikasa. It's Mikasa crystal, and it's called the heart shape server. It's a very easy process to assemble it. They gave you plastic washers, and the plastic washers obviously are to make sure that you don't scratch or crack if you screw it a little bit too hard. I did mine very lightly, so that's why you see it move like this. I didn't want to do it too hard because I knew I was going to disassemble it. But basically it's the bluebell pattern, which is also called bluebell green and blue. And you can see the bluebells right here. These are hand painted, and so is the green. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see the green right here. So you see it's a heart shape, and then there's another heart shape which is smaller right on top, and it still has the Mikasa sticker. My fingers are kind of locked. Hold on. The Mikasa sticker right here, you probably see it. And I think this is the cutest thing. Now, this is not just for the Valentine's Day month. This is not just for Easter, because I know it looks very much like an Easter thing. You can use it all year long. It's supposed to be a server for any kind of little pastries or cookies, if you want to put that in. Candies, you know, it would be perfect this time of year since we just had Halloween. All those fun size candies, you know, the mini Kit Kats, and for me that would be the miniature boxes of Mill Duds. I'm not going to tell you how many I had since last Thursday, okay? But it'd be perfect for that, and it's really pretty. I think it's romantic, actually. I like it better than the rose pattern that they have. So yeah, this is Mikasa, the heart-shaped server, and this is chrome, and again it was brand new. I just don't have the box. This was made in the mid to late 80s. It's also a discontinued pattern, And if I read the little blurb here, the details and colored decoration of this range are applied by hand. In order to preserve the beauty of this item, please hand wash them using a mild detergent. And then it says it in different language, and the instructions are right here on how to assemble it. So again, I will disassemble it in order to ship it. That way you get a flat box instead of a cube. What do you think of this? I think it's really cool. Just be careful when you screw it in. Don't do it too tight. You don't want to crack it, but you also don't want it to move like mine. Mine, I just did it rudimentary for the purpose of taking pictures. And go on the website. When I post them tomorrow, it looks really good in picture. You can really see the vibrancy of the colors between the green and the blue, and the overall look. I think this is really neat. I like this pattern. I'm gonna look for more. Okay, when I come back, I have, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 2 more. So, vintage kitchen. I don't do vintage kitchen very often, but these, I saw them. I had to pick them up. And they were here for a while. You probably saw them. These are canisters that were actually meant, I don't know if they were meant for the French market, because I've seen them here. But I can tell you that when I went to France a couple of years ago, not my last trip, and Mom and I went to that flea market where I purchased my forks and knives. There was a lot of those. So obviously the French market had a big slice of it. These are canisters that were made starting the 1930s into the 40s. And then they stopped around the 50s. Why? Because they were made in Czechoslovakia. So as long as Czechoslovakia as a country was not absorbed yet by the USSR, they were making those. This is lusterware, which was very popular in that time period. And I'm going to try to show it to you. Yeah, here you go. Okay, you see the rainbow? Okay, so that's lusterware. And the lusterware is everywhere. So I'm going to start with the larger one, which is sugar, sucre in French. These are, it's a set of 5 canister, and each one of them has a different thing, a different name. They are ceramic, and I have to say, considering their age, they are in unbelievable condition. Were they used? Probably, but whoever had them really took care of them. And you can see right here it says, well, it's hard to decipher, but I know it says Czechoslovakia on it. So we have sucre, which is sugar, and it has those 2 cobalt blue. A lot of people like that. And let me give you a close-up of the roses. It's a rose and kind of like prairie flowers. Oh, you see that? Okay, so the largest one is sucre. The next one is farine, which is flour. And that one is a little bit smaller. Let me compare the sizes for you, because there's no way I can hold them all. Okay, you see the difference in size? Okay, so we have sucre, farine. Same thing, blue cobalt stripes, the same bouquet of flowers, plain white in the back. The next size is café, which I'm sure you understand already. I don't have to translate it for you. So here's the café one. And look at the inside. Was there coffee in here at some point? I don't know. I don't think there was. Beautiful. The next one, so you want to see the difference in size, right? Here's the sugar one. Here's the coffee one. The next one is spices. Épices in French. Épices. Now that one, there's nothing in there, but that one has a tiny, I don't even know you can see it, right? It will be on the picture. This tiny chip right here on the inner lid. Can't see it at all once you close it. So that's épices. So that would be for the old spices. Here's the size comparison with the sugar. And then the last one is tea, which is for tea. It's tiny, right? For me, in my house, you would have to have a really large one for tea. So here's the tea one. It's all the same design. The only thing that changes is the wording on it. And here's the size comparison with the largest one. So it's 5 of them: sugar, flour, spices, tea, and coffee. They are, again, 40s, very early 50s, but mostly 30s, 40s, and 50s. They made those in so many different patterns. They made them with different lids. They made them with, instead of having the cobalt blue, you may see, let me move that so it doesn't shake. Instead of having the cobalt blue, they may have like a scroll pattern on the side. But the bouquet of flowers is pretty much the same. And that is not hand painted. Just saying, you know, this is a transferware. I think they're really cool. I personally would not use them. I would just display them. If you're going for that vintage kitchen vibe, they're perfect. Now, I said that they were all in really good condition, right? So there's a little bit of a chip on the inner lid, and then this big one right here on here has a little chip. I mean, come on. They are 60, 70 years old. We're going to forgive them. They are absolutely beautiful. Very often you'll see the names kind of faded because people have been washing them over the years. These, I don't know. They just look pristine. Okay, so Czechoslovakia canister set, vintage kitchen, set of 5. It's going to be a big box. Though what I may do is do all the lids separate and then nest some of those into one another. Try to save space so you don't have a huge box, because the post office has yet again increased their rates. It's totally out of my control, and I do the shipping based on the size of the box and the weight and the zip code. So when I come back, one last item which is absolutely fabulous if you like vintage crystal. This is a crystal vase, and it's such an unusual crystal vase. It's vintage, but it has a modern look to it. It's by Lausitzer, which comes from Lusatia Lake area in Germany. Look at this guy. I'm going to try to feature it where you can really see. I don't know about that. The crystal. Well, it's not working out. Look at the pictures. Okay, look at this. So this is called a pinwheel, and it has one here and one there. And then when you flip it, it has the same pattern. Now, very often what you're going to see here is a Star of David. This one is a starburst. And what makes it interesting and a little bit more modern is the double stripe right here in the middle. So that gives it more of a current look. This is from the 70s. It also has a very modern shape. You can see that, but it's kind of like a diamond shape, oblong. It's a 9.5 inch vase. It's quite heavy. This is 24% lead crystal from Germany, and I think it's really, really beautiful. This vase I would totally keep because I like a lot of cuts on the crystal. Let me see, what else do I have here? Like if you look at this little guy right here, right? Very nice. And then I have more crystal, by the way. You can see it over here. I had a big crystal haul a couple of weekends ago. So this is vintage, but it's current. You can still use it today and not look kind of like passé, you know, like if you want a nice vase. And I say it again, if you like to have flowers displayed in your house, you need different sized vases. You need little tiny one like the one I showed you. You need medium sized one like this. Believe it or not, this is considered a medium. And you need really big vases. This one is beautiful. all hand cut. Look at that. And I love the spine right here. Isn't it cool? Okay, so that's my last item. German crystal, 24% lead crystal. I don't know what the pattern name is, but all I can tell you is that, again, these are pinwheels with a starburst in the middle. I wish I could make it shine from here. It's kind of hard because I don't have the right lighting, maybe. Look at that. Oh, so cool. Okay. These are all the items going in the shop tomorrow at 5 p.m. So you're asking me, as usual, what would I keep? I would keep this and this. Absolutely would keep those. But again, I already have one in the living room that's Indiana glass, a darker green, a different pattern. It was supposed to go in the shop until I found out by the time I took it home that it actually had a crack right here. So I can't sell it, therefore I am keeping it. But this one is beautiful and it could be yours. And then of course the crystal vase, because not that I need another one, but I just love crystal. Okay, and probably this. I would keep this, but I would not have it on display all year long. I would just pull it out for special occasion. Anyway, so these are my 7 items going in the shop tomorrow. If you want to see close-ups and really good pictures of them, hop on the shop. These will be in vintage kitchen. This will be in vintage glass. The mug obviously is going to go in vintage mugs. And the planters will go into vintage planters. The crystal vase is going to go into decorative items. And then this one right here will also be in decorative item or vintage glass. I haven't decided yet. So again, when you get on the shop and it's 5 p.m., the stuff won't show immediately on the front page. But if you want an item and beat the crowd, just hop directly into the categories and go find vintage kitchen category. That's where this will be, and that way you can click buy. I will see you later. Give me a thumbs up if you like these items. Which one is your favorite? Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner. Click the bell button so you don't miss any videos from me. I do more than just the Etsy, but you know that. And I have a kid taking a shower. It must be 7 o'clock. It is 7:11. It's time for me to go upstairs and edit videos. This one and a Patreon video. I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.